In the last video, I showed you what was blooming, and today I'm going to show you what my herbs look like at this point in the year. It's June 8th, and I'm Linda, and let's take a look. The catnip is looking great. It has sprung back after all the neighborhood cats wallowed in it. And I'm going to get a piece of that out and pot it up for my neighbor. The spearmint's doing well. I'm going to probably move some of this out to the front bed too, because I'm still trying to get that established. It's looking better than it was, but it could still use some filling in. I showed you the blooming cilantro and parsley. This is a second planting of cilantro, and it's already starting to feather out and bolt a little bit, even though it hasn't been that hot. But I also planted borage in here. I put some in a pot too, but the pot doesn't seem to be doing too well, and honestly I can't really tell which is which in here. That also has some dill, which is kind of slow taking off. Not sure why. And another volunteer sunflower. Not an herb, but I'm going to let it grow. The lemon basil's looking a little gnarly. And there are barely chives growing in there. I'm pretty disappointed with these. They just haven't taken off the way I expected they would. This was the pot where I planted the borage, and it is just not, borage, however you say it, it's just not doing much of anything at all. Not sure why. This is sweet basil and the purple basil. I planted the sweet basil, I started the seeds, but the purple basil just came back from last year. This stuff is popping up everywhere, and you know what? I don't mind. The peppermint looks good. I have actually harvested some already and got that put up to dry because I love peppermint tea. The thyme is growing pretty well. I'm not sure what this is. Maybe this was the borage that didn't grow very well. I planted all of the cinnamon basil seeds that I had left. Got a few plants. They're not looking too good either. Honestly, I don't know whether it's been that it's been so cloudy, that it's been so cool, that it's been so wet, but things just aren't quite at the pace I expected them to be. This lemon balm looks fabulous. I think I maybe have lucked out when I got these plants because they had already been acclimated to this area, and I did not start this from seed. This is what my neighbor gave me. It smells wonderful. I love lemon anything. The tiny little horseradish roots that I planted last year come back with a vengeance, and I hope to harvest some this fall. Chamomile is still not doing well, and people have told me that chamomile is one of the easiest things to grow, but this is the third year that I've tried to get some started. I've tried it in the ground, I've tried it in a big pot, and this year I put it in a small pot, and it's just not doing anything. There's one little plant in there, even though I had this whole thing full. This is the horehound, which is sturdy but small, so I don't know, this may be one of those that's also a second year thing. And then the yarrow, which I'm okay with. I'm pleased enough, I suppose. I don't know how that grows, but I know it should be one of those things that will come back on its own too, so I hope it'll grow big enough to actually bloom and make some seeds. If not, I'll keep trying. Eddie thinks he's king of the mountain now. He's definitely a rags to riches story. The sage has already bloomed, and the blooms have died off. The plant is not as big as it was last year, but the leaves are bigger, and it's still got this woody base here, so I'm not worried about it dying. I just am not sure why it didn't bush out much more than it did. This rosemary has been fantastic. Look at this. It has really filled in, bushed out, expanded, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. Oh, just moving that around, I can smell it. It smells so good. And that's the herb tour for June, middle of June 2021. And yeah, that's Eddie. Living the life of Riley over there. I'm Linda, and you've been visiting my quirky quarter acre. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.